What has interning for Louis Hon meant for you in terms of your inspiration?
Louis has graduated from my course. There's almost like a clear-cut pathway there. Like, it's good to see someone in the industry who's done and accomplished and been through what I'm currently going through.
What do you look for in the industry that's inspiration to you?
It's going to sound really cliche, but people like Louis who really love what they're doing and stay true to their design philosophy and believe in the bigger picture. Like, Louis is not just there to develop himself and his own brand, he's there to develop the industry in Australia.
Do you find that you do have certain aspects of the way you work in common?
Yeah, most definitely, because the way I was taught was the way that he was taught. So I work quite closely with Louis in discussion and trying to sort out problems. We think about them very logically and in the same way, in the same format. It's like a deeper understanding. Certain questions don't need to be asked because we already know how we've come to that point.
So you end up sharing the same path of the way you need to work.
Yeah, exactly. It helps us to be on par and more efficient because we both understand each other, having had the same education.
What does it mean being based in Melbourne and Melbourne's fashion vision?
Well, it's important to supporting the industry here, and Louis likes to produce things locally and not so much overseas.
Melbourne's got a good support system for designers that come out of the city. What do you think that means for you in the future and all the people you'll be competing with?
It is a very, very competitive industry, as a lot of industries are, and I think that there's a good basis for me to start here if I wanted to start here, whether that be working for someone else who's looking at the bigger picture or working for myself.
And in terms of working for someone else, what makes a good intern?
I'd like to think I'm a good intern because I understand what Louis is trying to do. Being able to support him and help him with the things that he needs by listening and really extracting the most amount of information I possibly can from him, A, to better my skills, and B, to use those skills to help him produce a collection.
So it's almost like a private study at the same time. You are doing your own homework.
Very much so. Like, you never stop learning, and it's evident in an internship position because you learn things every single day and you're applying them straight away, so you see kind of the fruits of your labour.
How do you deal with that pressure though? Because it is someone else's name you're working with.
Yeah, it's stressful at times because, you really want to uphold a particular standard, and Louis Hon's got a very high standard and a very high quality and exactly, and a reputation to uphold, and being up and coming with his label as well, it's really important to make sure that his reputation isn't compromised. Got to uphold a certain standard and level so that he positions himself in the market at a certain point.
What's the calling for an intern?
Well,
for usual work?
Initially, we began doing QC kind of work, which is like quality control, quality testing, ensuring that all the finishes are done correctly, there aren't like loose threads, and packing and preparing orders, admin stuff as well. It wasn't so much based in the craft and the design kind of aspect of it. However, Louis observed what I can do and worked out what my attributes, qualities are, and what I'm good at, and taking advantage of them. So now I do pattern making, sewing samples, and I do cutting, and that's very integral to his design process. And a lot of his designs are developed through the sampling and the trialing and stuff like that, and being a part of that is kind of helping his design come to life.
Do you build that on trust though? Is that both the designer and both the intern have to learn to do?
It's a huge trust thing because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm doing what he wants me to do. It's not like I'm coming up with my own style. I'm supporting his. I've got to be able to understand what it is that he's after and help that happen. At the same time, bring my own flavour to it, but keeping it very Louis Hon.
Is that how you see a lot of people get really passionate about the industry because they know that they've got something that stands out more so than perhaps their peers?
I believe that in our particular industry, there is a lot of who you know, not what you know. And I think having this opportunity and getting my foot in the door, I'm really lucky that I've had that opportunity, because now Louis can see what I know and take me for that as opposed to who I know. So you definitely have to work hard at what you want, and some people have to work harder than others. I guess it's just, you know, the circumstances and where you are and how you get there and your attitude. Like I'm very determined, and I often don't take no for an answer. I work extraordinarily hard to get to where I want to get, and I see the obstacles but try very hard to overcome them.
And you'd appreciate that the setbacks, the disappointment, you know, it's going to be worth it in the end, or it has to be worth it if this is what you want to do with your life.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it won't come easy. Circumstances and experiences are the things that fuel the fire. And in a way, you kind of need those to appreciate when you do get a break.
So what do you think you're going to offer Melbourne that perhaps Melbourne hasn't got yet in the next 5 years? What do you think Melbourne's missing?
My vision, personally, would be just to contribute to the bigger picture. Like, I do eventually want to have my own label. I mean, that's always been my dream since I was very little, but I've always said that if I find someone like Louis, who treats me like family, where I was really happy, that I'd be more than happy to do that. But at the same time, I'm going to just take it as it comes and take advantage of this opportunity, because it's brilliant.
And would you like to stay and work in Melbourne though?
For what I want to do, yeah, most definitely. I think that I could establish myself absolutely anywhere. I do want to travel for the experience of it and just to kind of grow up a little bit. But I do think and believe that Melbourne will be my home base.